Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tapping in to Real Talk, No Excuses. And I'm your host, Patrick Reed, but I go by P. And today we'll be talking about self discipline. But before we get into all that, we got to get honor to God, invite Him in. So, Father God, we thank you today for what you're doing for us. God, we thank you for giving us purpose in life. And we ask you to show us the way that you want us to follow and go in. Give us the strength that we need and help this word touch the people that need to hear. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So today's topic is self-discipline. A lot of people might not know what self-discipline means, but to be self-disciplined is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in order to achieve a long-term goal or to endure a set of values you have for yourself. I don't know, at a young age, self-discipline was some of the hardest thing a lot of us had to deal with because we wanted to do stuff our way. And sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us. Self-discipline can help you in a lot of situations, especially when we let our emotions get involved. And like prime example, say if someone hurt you or hurt your feelings or done something to you, a lot of times we go off emotions. So we feel like it's best to get our get back that we're gonna do something to that person or we're gonna make them feel like how we feel. If you had that self discipline, then you know not to put yourself in jeopardy of messing your own values or your goals or your dreams up. You know how to walk away from certain situations. You know how to control your actions and your emotions. It took me a while. I'm gonna be honest. It took me a while to get my self discipline because at younger P was a whole lot different who the 30-year-old P is now. I remember like when I was younger, if I didn't like something, I was gonna speak on it. It depends on the situation, and I wouldn't hold back. I didn't care, especially who the dealing with a certain person was. They was gonna feel what I had to say, or I was gonna get my get back in some way, somehow, some other. But now I'm learning how to sit back, be quiet, and let God handle my situations. I might not like the outcome of what happened or what played out, but I got so much self control and self discipline in myself. I don't want to mess up what God is doing for me. I don't want to jeopardize my goals. I don't want to jeopardize and put myself in a predicament where I'm dead or in jail because this new generation, it ain't nothing like how it was when we grew up. We fought, some of us did probably have guns and stuff like that, but the killing rate or emotions these new people have, this new generation have, is totally different. Now these days, if you argue with someone or accidentally bump someone, it's 9 times out of 10 chance that you could be shot or you could get into a fight or be hurt. So you gotta learn how to control your emotions. And that's one thing I wish we would go back to, learning how to control our emotions. But I also learned sometimes if you ain't dealt with it now, you gonna deal with it later. And you learn as you grow older how to control yourself. Some stuff, like I said, I didn't do when I was like my early teens and 20s and stuff like that. I didn't learn it because, like I said, I was just living life and just going how I want to do things. But now that I'm in my 30s, I look at life totally different. I also learned like having a mentor or being around older people who can explain to you or talk to you about life is good as well because they can help you with self discipline. Sometimes it's good to sit back and watch a person, see how they react to things instead of you just jumping off and doing certain stuff. The people you are around make a big influence on your life. Because if you see negativity all the time, you're gonna jump off the negativity vibe. But if you see people being positive and doing things in a way that you never seen before, and they having a positive reaction to or situation goes in their favor, it makes you want to have that same type of moral value about yourself. So I'm gonna give us 5 points of self-discipline. These points right here can help a person overcome and achieve certain things they want out of life. Acceptance, willpower, hard work, execution, and persistence. I'm gonna first start off with acceptance because some things we do have to accept in life. Like if we messed up or we failed, it's okay to fall or fail at certain things because that's the biggest learner. Once you fail something once, you know not to do that same thing again. But you have to learn to accept it. Like I messed up, or I did wrong, or this is not gonna be what it used to be. Once you gain that acceptance in life, and you learn how to move from it and take it as it is, it helps you to grow. Some things you got to learn, like, this wasn't meant for me to do, or that person wasn't meant to be in my life, or that's not the job for me, or that's not the place for me to live. Long as you accept those values about yourself or what's going on with your life, that's a part can help you deal with your self discipline, to move on, to grow, to overcome. Now let's talk about willpower. Yes, I did say willpower. Willpower, the ability to control your own thoughts, emotions, and impulses to resist short term temptations and achieve long term goals. Now, that's the definition I got for it. But let's be honest, willpower is something a lot of men and women both feel it, because they let their temptations get the best of them, dealing with love and sometimes seeing something that could actually hurt their relationship because they're tempted by it, not having the willpower to deny themselves and say no. And that's one of the biggest things that's hurting a lot of relationships these days, because we're so tempted by what we see on social media and TV. We want it, we have it, so we try to go after it, but the whole time is that temptation don't mean it's no good. It ends up hurting us in the long run. A lot of relationships would last more if we had stronger willpower, and also if we didn't jump on everything that we see on TV. I will admit, like, a lot of stuff now is so different from when growing up. Like, I remember growing up and not having like the internet be the biggest thing. So we spent a lot of time outside, or doing different type of stuff. So I wasn't grown at the time, so but I could tell like a lot of relationships was look more healthier then compared to now, when everybody's on social media half naked, or following the newest latest trends, or such and such up these days or such and such down. It's a whole lot of just mess that flows around it, and it grows temptation to the mind, where you feel like, if this is what's happening, this is what I should be doing. And the whole time it's pretty much it's brainwashing us, and it's making us weak in the mind, where we don't have the willpower to learn how to walk away from this, or to not step into this type of habit. And I feel like it's also not just dealing with people, but also dealing with our health and our diets, because you gotta have that willpower sometimes to turn down that extra plate of food. I mean, you say you want to have that six pack, you say you want your body, and females want to be tea or snatched or whatever y'all be saying, but you keep eating the wrong habits. You can't have the willpower to turn down that extra plate, or to have the ability to tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna get up and go to the gym today. I know I need to go to the gym today. You ain't pushing yourself to do it. And sometimes, like I said again, having the right set of people around you gonna motivate you to do that. If you see your friend over there that lost 30 pounds and they looking good, and you want to have that same type of body, I mean, you gonna put that willpower in and get up and go to the gym and work out and do what you need to do. Same thing, like if you want to buy that car and you got an issue of saving money, and you see your people around you all moving and going toward a better self in life, you gonna put that willpower to the side too as well and do the same thing. So it all plays hand in hand. The next thing we're gonna talk about is hard work, and that's key, because you can't get nowhere being lazy. Putting the work in, even overtime work. Man, the best players, athletes, millionaires, they put in work to get to where they got to. And you can't say I want to be this and that and you're not doing the work. So yesterday, I'm on the media team at my church, and that was First Lady Day's topic, do the work. And man, they had preachers and people get up to talk about how you got to do the work to become an achiever. And it even says in the Bible, you know what I'm saying, if a man doesn't work, that he doesn't eat. And so you have to put that work in and effort in to become what you want to be in life. Man, you can't sit around and let procrastination and laziness determine your dreams and goals. I can speak for myself on that too, because sometimes I can get very procrastinate, and it's like I have a great idea, but I'm so lazy to write it down at times because I'm too busy trying to watch a show. And I start to see, like, man, if I want this podcast to jump, if I want these books to jump, if I want my business with dogs to jump, if I want to start getting back in the kitchen and cooking and making it jump, I got to put the work in. I can't sit there and say, well, I know how to do this, but I don't have nothing to show for myself. So lately, I've been trying to make sure that I'm showing, I'm putting time in. It's just like even when you working for somebody, man, a job is not gonna pay you to come in and just sit around and look. They say you sitting around looking being lazy, they gonna let you go. They gonna find somebody else who gonna put that work in. So it's good to be a hard worker. Don't be lazy because nothing's gonna be given to you. Like we all wish money would fall from the ceiling or from the sky or something like that, but 9 times that's not gonna happen. And even with your blessings, like you gotta give God something to show that hey, he's doing this or she's doing it to get your blessing. And you never know who might come in and help. But you got to put the work in some way, somehow or another. The next one, like I said, we're going to talk about execution. And we ain't talking about killing nobody, nothing like that. But we talking about killing a plan. Man, write down what you want to do, man. Write your goals down. Make a set of how you going to execute this plan. Like, okay, say you want to make a goal for 6 months that you going to say $300 and divide it up how much it's gonna take you today to make that $300 in that time frame. So I'm just showing for example. That's for somebody who may be struggling with money. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to build. And this is the way you can do it. Look up some things you're gonna have to cut back from. And like I said, you can do anything you put your mind to. Execute that plan and stack your money up. Don't get sidetracked by what you see other people do. They may pull it off faster. And instead, if you pull it off faster than what you think you do, put that money to the side and do it again. Flip it, gain it, whatever you got to do to execute your plan. Like, tell yourself every day, hey, I can do it. Speak life into yourself. Don't let negativity or what you see out in the world distract you or determine you. Make you want to walk away from what you put in your mindset to do because you can do anything. And the last step, we're going to talk about persistence. Be persistent whatever you do. Know what I'm saying? That's how you gonna get it done. Don't sit back and say, well, I dropped three, like me promise I can say, well, I dropped 3 episodes this week. I'ma sit back and wait 2 more weeks to do another one. Nah. I gotta push myself every day. If I drop 3 this week, okay, let's drop another two. Let's drop one tomorrow. Just I gotta be persistent with myself. I can't give up. I can't become lazy. I gotta keep pushing and keep going because I don't know who watching. I mean, somebody might be sitting back seeing this and be like, you know what, I like his persistence. He ain't giving up. He's steadily going. He's pushing himself with this. And I see something in this. And they can help me make something out of it. So being persistent is the key. Like I said, even if you don't see a lot of followers or gaining when you first start doing something, don't give up. Keep pushing yourself. Keep building yourself. And watch how your dreams turn out for you. But those are the 5 topics I got from this. And so we're gonna go on now to the no excuse zone. So this is a new topic I started doing with this. And so since we real talk no excuses, the no excuse zone for the day is not falling for temptation, learning how to say no to self. And so with me, one thing I'm picking up not to do is, like I said, getting procrastinated by things. I'm learning how to set times for myself. Like I got like several different timers going off on my phone throughout the day where some of them I might be giving thanks to God. Some of them I'm setting a time frame set to do my school work, or I got a time frame set to even do these podcasts to get up. And I ain't making no excuse about it, even if I don't want to do it some days. Some days I ain't gonna lie to you, I do feel tired from working, working with my mom, helping her set up for parties and stuff like that, or even when I gotta go record at the church on Sundays, doing my schoolwork. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do kind of get frustrated. I get tired sometimes, and with helping others, but I can't give up, and I can't make an excuse that I'm tired. Tired is out the option. Like I said, we only got one life to live, and we don't know when God's gonna call us home. So I gotta make the best of it. I gotta push, even when I'm tired. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. Same thing, like I said, I seen Kobe Bryant and LeBron James or Michael Jordan. They consider the GOATs of basketball. But you know what? They never made excuses that I'm tired. I done watched plenty of LeBron James games where he's sweating and it seemed like everybody around him is exhausted. And he's still like on go. He's still on 10. But you know why? Because he put the work in while everybody was resting and sleeping, or you know what I'm saying, being lazy or partying. He was in the back, he was in the lab, he was putting work in. And so it's getting me to the point where I'm pushing myself, where I ain't making no excuse. Yeah, it be some days where I see people going out and partying and my family doing stuff that I want to do, but it's somewhere I want to be. I got to go for myself. So I'm pushing myself to not fall short and not make an excuse for myself. And I'm just encourage anybody else. If you got a goal, if you got, like, again, if you got something you want to do, you can do it. You can put your mind to it. Don't think because maybe, hey, I live in a small town and I never seen nobody do this before. You be the first to do it. You be that pioneer to set that goal. You be the one that have people to come up to you and ask. You don't gotta have no blueprint. Like with this, I ain't got no blueprint to it, but I'm just looking stuff up on YouTube. I'm reading books on it, and I'm just going after my dreams. I'm praying, I'm asking God to lead me through it and show me the way. I give all the credit and glory and honor to Him. And once you do that and you put Him first, He gonna show you how to get it done. You ain't gotta have no millionaire behind you to promote your business to get it going off the ground. God can make a way for you better than any man can. You just gotta trust Him. And like I said, at the end of the day, don't make no excuse. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And just believe. Speak life into yourself, into your business, into your home, into your marriage, into your life. Whatever it is you want to do, speak life into it and watch how it turn around for you. So that's my no excuse zone. So just like I ain't making no one for me, I'm gonna make sure you don't make a one for you. So we almost like at the end of the show. And I want to thank anybody who done tapped in or gave me a positive message or reached out. Like I said, if you want to reach out, drop a comment, or possibly one day get on the show, inbox me, tap in, let me know. I'd love to have you on. Like I said, anybody got a business, they want to promote their business, they looking for logos made, they looking for vendors, holler at me, you know what I'm saying? I know plenty of people who's trying to do their own thing with self business, being self employed and stuff like that. And maybe we can collab, or I don't mind hooking people up with other people to get their business off the ground. Just tap in with me. So we're gonna get to story time now. And so today's story I'm gonna talk about the time when I used to box when I was a kid. So check this out. A lot of people don't know this. So when I was like in the sixth grade, my mom and them, they put me in the boxing because like everybody in the sub where I grew up at, they was boxing. So I wanted to do it too. I used to watch it with my granddad and my dad, so I thought it was cool. Even though it was like I really want a big um boxer type of person. Like I don't really like conflict and stuff like that, but I just wanted to try it. I want to know how to defend myself and everything else. And I kind of just wanted to feel like I had that kind of respect because I didn't want to be like the only kid with the only male kid in the sub who won boxing. And like I had a cousin, he was doing it. He was trying to push me into it. He was like, "Come on, you could do it, whatever, like that." So my mom, she signed me up. Now, my first day, I get down there, and rest in peace, Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy was like, "Come on, I'm gonna show you what you gotta do and everything else like that." So he put me in the ring. He gave me the gloves, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was in the ring with this dude, and he had kind of just started too, but he had kind of started like 2 weeks ago. So he kind of was more familiar than I was. And man, when I tell you, when he rang that bell for us to spar, dude rushed me so fast. I didn't know what to do, so I tried to take it like, even though I don't watch boxing on TV and everything else, I tried to watch it as, I it's like my mind went blank. So when he rushed me, I took it like a street fight. So he rose up, I stood up, I stepped back, and like I slick tried to kick. They was like, no, 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 you can't kick, you can't kick. You just gotta swing your arms, like you gotta fight. And man, when I say that, man hit me so hard with a 2 piece, I was like, hold on. And I had turned sideways. And they was like, hold on, hold on, hold on. We got to show them, you know what I'm saying, what to do and what not to do. Because, like I said, I was nervous. And so my cousin and Mr. Jimmy, they came over there. They was like, hey, you can't let them hit you like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to move. You got to learn how to buy weep. It's like, he was like, you can't kick. Nothing like that. Just, man, it's like, take it as like you doing in the street fight. But the only difference is you ain't kicking. He was like, just move out the way, get your punches in, and go. So I was like, okay. They reset it back up. They put me in back in my corner. They put the other guy back in his corner, and they rang the bell again. Now this time, I'm still nervous, but I'm like, okay, I see what I gotta do. Man, he came out again. He rushed me, but when he rushed me this time, I started to step back and move. So he swung real hard, and I felt like the wind come off the leg. Even though we got like this mask on and we got gloves on, I could feel it. I mean, well, it's like not a mask. I'm saying a helmet. I got like this helmet on where it blocks like the top of my head, but my whole face is showing. So if you don't block, they still can hit you in your face. So I move out the way, and so when I move, like I said, I see like he throw all his might into a mean punch. Like you could tell he trying to knock me out because he figured I'm new. Like I said, I was, and like I said, I was real green at the time. Like I wasn't used to it. But luckily, when he swung and I seen he missed, like when I say I barely missed the punch, I barely missed it. But my left hand, a lot of people don't know, like I'm even hand. My left hand is just as strong as my right hand. And so when I swung with my left, I made him fall. Like don't know, like I said, I swung pretty hard, but I didn't think he would fall. I guess it caught him off guard. And they caught him off guard, and they was shocked, and everybody was hollering. They was like, "Ooh!" And I felt happy for the moment, but I couldn't go off that. Like I couldn't just be like, "Well, I knocked him down this one time, so I know I'm ready to keep fighting." So after that, I kept trying to better myself. I had to put in self discipline, going to practice every week, building up, trying to get better, trying to get better, trying to get better. So finally, Mr. Jimmy was like, I feel like we're gonna have a show come to Covington, and I'm gonna put you in one of the fight cards. I feel like you're ready for it. I was like, bet. So I'm nervous. I done called all my people out. I done called my daddy. I done called my mom. I want to tell my mama about it, whatever like that. And so they all come out. My daddy bring my two sisters and his wife to come watch me box. Now my daddy, like I said, he out there bragging like, yeah, my son going here, he doing this woo woo. Make it seem like I'm Floyd Mayweather Jr. or something. Cause he will, I ain't gonna lie, one thing about my daddy, he likes to exaggerate and he will over brag. He will do that. But that's just his love and support he got for his kids. So get out there, and it's like that day everything goes wrong. My stuff came in time. My mama, like I said, my mama and my daddy, they bought me a new pair of trunks that was all black and got me some all black shoes, which my box shoes were dope. And the only thing we forgot to do is go get me a mouthpiece. So the last minute, my mama rushed me to Walmart. She got me a mouthpiece and everything else like that. Get in the ring, but anything about a mouthpiece, you gotta boil it first, so and then bite into it so it fit the molders of your mouth. If you don't, it's gonna be too big, whatever like that. So we didn't do none of that. We didn't have enough time for it. Get to the boxing fight, whatever like that, and my fight was like the third one, which is kind of in the early stages. I got bubble guts. My stomach is flipping and turning the whole time. And like I said, I got my dad out there, my mom out there, and like I said, my family out there to support me. So like I said, I done worked hard all week long, but I'm looking at my opponent like I ain't gonna lie, he was a white boy. I'm like, oh, it's over. It's about to be sweet for him. I'm about to beat the boy. We get out there in the ring, and like I said, this is my first time actually in a real match. Now, like I said, when we was doing at the gym, it was just sparring, and these are people like on our team, so we all under the same brand. Now, these some more folks from out of town. We fighting against them. So, like I said, he ain't on our team, so I feel like, shoot, it's macaroni time. I'm about to cook the boy. We get in the ring. I'm so hyped and amped up. Like I said, I'm on there jumping like the whole time, and I end up, um, I'm getting short of breath. I got asthma. That's the crazy thing about it, and I know I got asthma, and I'm so hyped up about it that in the first few minutes, I done wore myself out boxing. I mean, it's like we only box for maybe 2 minutes. And so each round is like 2 minutes. It was like 4 rounds, 2 minutes each round. And when I tell you, I'm so exhausted from the first 2 minutes because I was bouncing around. Like I said, we was pretty much going at the first round, whatever like that. But the second round came around and I was so exhausted that my mouthpiece, like I said, it kept sliding out my mouth. And I end up, I feel like I won the fight. Everybody after watched it, they said the same thing too. Like I knocked him down twice. I knocked him down in the second round. I knocked him down again in the third round. He never knocked me down. But I had the hardest time keeping my mouthpiece in. And toward the end of the second round, like I said, I didn't really have no win. So I was barely moving. He was he was moving a little bit more than I was, but he was at the edge. He was kind of tired too. And so they end up at the end of the fight, I end up losing. And you talking about hurt. I was so hurt. I was hurt. I was crying because I was mad because I lost. And like my teammates, they was telling me like, man, hey, you better not lose this fight, man. You supposed to beat him. Because then the crazy thing about it was, dude who I fought never won a fight. He done lost all his fights. He was like 0-7. And so he got his first win off me. And you talking about I was hurt. I was embarrassed. But even my teammates too, they said they was like, we felt like you won or you just got shortness of breath. And you kept, because I kept getting, my referee kept telling me, like, keep your mouthpiece in, keep your mouthpiece in. And he was deducting points because I could keep my mouthpiece in. And they was like, I end up losing by 1 point because of it. And man, I'm telling you how much self discipline I had of it. I was so hurt. And like I knew 2 months later we was gonna end up going back to Chattanooga. No, it wasn't Chattanooga. It was in Nashville. It was Nashville we went back to go fight them in Smyrna. And I told my coach, I was like, man, I want to fight him again because I feel like I was cheated. He was like, we feel the same way. He was like, don't worry about it. We're going to their town next. And you just put this work in. He was like, now you know what you got to do and what you don't do when you get in the ring. I was like, yeah, I know. I said, I burnt myself out, jumping around. So when I tell y'all, I had so much self discipline from that day forward from after me and Coach talk, me and Miss Jimmy talk, and we had another coach named Humphrey. He was well. He was the one who actually put that battery in my back though. And every week, before we got up there, he kept saying, "Remember how dude did you? Remember how the white boy did you?" And he was funny though because he white too, but he said, "Remember how that white boy did you?" And it was like pretty much our whole box team was all black, and it was funny. Both our coaches was white though, but he kept on putting that battery in me, boy, and it would make me so mad. And he be laughing about it. And he was like, "You can't be in there hopping like a bunny. You can't be in there hopping like a bunny." He would just kept on saying it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all. Man, I tell y'all, we went up there to Smyrna, and I was already kind of saying like my mom and them they couldn't make this trip, whatever like that, because it was late and it was like doing like on a Thursday. No, it was on a Friday. It was on a Friday because we made it back real late. My mama couldn't go. My daddy couldn't go either because like he had to work that Saturday, so he couldn't go. So neither of my parents could go to the fight. So I get down there and I'm already kind of hyped up. Like I was like, you know what? And I seen they had trophies for us to win. Now in Covington, we didn't have no trophies. We just if you won, you won. That's all it was. But down there in Smyrna, they had trophies. So I was like, you know what? Man, I'm gonna give me a trophy tonight. It's over with. So they said if I could fight the same dude, and I was already determined. When the bell rung, they got us in the ring. Like I said again, this time we like the fourth fight. The bell rung, they got us in the ring. I'm talking about when I was so disciplined. I came in there playing no games. I wasn't jumping around. I wasn't hopping up. None of that. You know, we supposed to touch hands. I barely touched his hand. I looked at him and it's like I had this look in my eye like you just don't know what you done got yourself into this time. And when I say I went out there and put the pause on, I'm talking about his coach himself was like, I don't know what y'all done did to do to make him that mad. Because like, and I say I went into a whole nother different mode. And I was so happy. Like it wasn't even close this time. Again, I knocked him down like 3 times, but I was really trying to knock him out. I wasn't able to, but I put him on the mat 3 times, so I was happy about that. And I came home with the trophy, and it was like when I made it back home, I was so excited, and I was so happy that I won. And I, you know what I'm saying, I showed my parents and everything. That's like that. I was like, if I went to church and brought the trophy to church, showed the church, like, yeah, you know, this is what I've done, I achieved. But I'm saying this to say this, you know what I'm saying? If you got something that you want to do in life, go for it. Sometimes you have to fail. Sometimes that self discipline, the pushing yourself is gonna make you motivate yourself to do better and want more. Go forward and do that. Don't give up on yourself. Don't settle yourself short. But man, go after whatever it is that you want to go after. But that's all I have for y'all today. And I thank you again. I thank everyone again for tapping in with me. Until next time, y'all. I'll holler at you.